For years and years and years and years, the Christians have been taught Satan's the author of the Quran. And then all of a sudden, GodLogic comes along and David Wood comes along with this idea that the Quran confirms the Bible. And now the problem you've got is you can't have both. Okay, so when the Quran says the Bible's reliable, Satan's saying the Bible's reliable, but it's basically Satan teaching the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, confirming it. Why? And all the Christians are pulled away from this idea now that Satan's the author of the Quran.
I wanted to clear up some things, man, that you've been saying. I don't know why.
What have I been saying?
You've been saying that I'm going around saying that the Quran is 100% Satan inspired.
Oh, did you say that?
I never said that.
So who do you believe came to Muhammad in the cave?
I do believe that Muhammad had a demonic experience in the cave. I don't believe that everything in the Quran is demonically like sourced.
So okay, that's fine. So you don't believe the Quran is sourced by Satan then, no?
I believe that there are some things that are demonic, and I believe that there's some things that are just clearly man-made.
Aisha said, "It seems to me that your Lord hastens to satisfy your desire." Aisha, who's his wife, the mother of the believers, says that it seems respectfully that your Lord hastens to satisfy your desires. It's just, how is it that whenever you want something, whenever you want to do something, whenever you want a woman, whenever you don't want a woman, whenever you want to be like, okay, you know what, I want that woman now, that it's a revelation from God. Like, yes, he can do that. Yes, you can have that. It's not a sin for you. And yeah. That your Lord hastens to your desire.
I want to bring up something. I want to just throw in something that I find very funny. And we certainly know that they say it is only a human being who teaches him. The tongue of the one they refer to is foreign, and this recitation is in a clear Arabic language.
Yeah.
What this grammar is actually saying, so it is saying that they say, so the people around Muhammad who doubt Muhammad's message and who doubt all these recitations and their divine origin, they apparently say it is only a human being who teaches him. So there is somebody there among them who teaches Muhammad these things, which is why he is making up these revelations, because he gets these from some guy who is among these people. Yep. And then the Quran later clarifies, but the language of that guy that you are referring to is foreign, and this Quran is in clear Arabic language, so it can't be that he's taking it from that guy. But it's funny that the Quran is actually,
it's hilarious. One of us should make a video called like Allah's dumbest responses to arguments, right? Because he has things like this, right? Like, and they ask, why isn't Muhammad sent with a miracle? And Allah's response is, because other people from other generations had rejected miracles, therefore you don't get any. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But this is another one that just doesn't make sense, right? It's like the accusation is that Muhammad is getting these revelations. There you got it. There you have it, AP.
Uh-huh.
The accusation is that Muhammad is getting these revelations from this guy that he's talking to. In the Muslim sources, they even know who that's referring to, right?
Yeah.
And so, in other words,
traitor, apparently.
And this is apparently the reason that Muhammad was called the ear, or that people would say he's all ears and believes whatever anyone tells him, is that this guy's telling him, hey, let me tell you about Jesus. Hey, let me tell you about Moses. Hey, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that. Let me tell you about Dual Qarnayn. And Muhammad's listening to this dude, and he's coming out the next day and saying, I have received the revelation from the Almighty. Praise Allah. Right? And so he would come out there, and the people are noticing this going, wait a minute, you keep talking to this dude who has all these stories, and then the next day you come out and you've got this story that you received from Allah, right?
Yeah.
And they point this out. But then Allah gives a response and says, no. That man is not a native Arabic speaker, whereas the Quran is in Arabic. So there's no way that Muhammad could be getting these stories from this other man. Now, you Muslims are watching. Do you really not understand how stupid and insane this is? If I write a book right now, I say, look, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote a book. It's called Crime and Punishment. It's about this guy. His name's Raskolnikov, and he some people and to take their money, and then he eventually goes to jail after he confesses and stuff. And man, it's a real page turner that I just wrote. And you say, wait a minute, you're not the one who wrote that. Dostoevsky wrote that. And my response is, what are you talking about? Dostoevsky wrote in Russian, and this book's in English. So there's no way I got the story from him. There is no person on this planet stupid enough to fall for that. There is out of the 7 billion plus people on this planet, 7 billion plus would see right through that and think that is the most idiotic response anyone has ever uttered. And Allah responded from all eternity. So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Allah knew from all eternity that Muhammad would be accused of plagiarizing from this guy that he keeps talking to.
Yeah.
And Allah had all eternity to figure out how he's going to how he's going to answer this accusation. And he could have just had the guy never meet Muhammad so that he could never, the accusation would never come up. Instead, Allah comes up with his response, which is translation from one language to another is impossible in all circumstances. One day, Muhammad steps out and says, guys, I have a revelation from Allah. This is Allah talking, not me. I wouldn't say any of this, but Allah will. Remember just 3 verses ago when Allah gave me and me alone the right to have more partners than any of you gullible stooges? Well, now Allah wants you to stop coming over to my house early, and He wants you to leave as soon as dinner's over. Again, I wouldn't say any of this. I'm just too shy. But Allah's not shy. He wants all of you to stop annoying me, stop talking me to death, stop asking me questions when I've got better things to do than spend my evenings with people who are too stupid to see what's going on here. How can Muhammad make it any clearer what Allah really is in Islam? Allah is Muhammad's sock puppet, whose primary goal is to give Muhammad everything he wants.
Muslims try to use this as an argument. In terms of the Islamic dilemma, they say, okay, well, do you believe that the Quran is inspired by the devil? Do you believe that Muhammad was under satanic influence? And normal Christian response, yes, of course. And so, okay, so you're telling us that the devil is trying to get people to believe in the Bible, right? That's what you're saying?
You could have sort of a mixed view. Like, I believe he was under demonic influence. That doesn't mean everything is coming from demons, and some of the stuff is just his own desires influencing him. That would make sense of a bunch of different passages. And some of it is him believing in old wives' tales and so on, and some of it is him just absorbing things from you. It could be a big combination. So, and I don't even know how you'd say, no, it's just this one thing, and here is my position on this.
We Christians have a very simple and parsimonious explanation for this data. Muhammad made a mistake. He was illiterate, and so he didn't actually check those scriptures and just assumed they were confirming what he was preaching. Muhammad made a mistake. And because he was illiterate, he didn't bother to check what the Christian scriptures were teaching, and just assumed they were confirming his supposed revelations.
Was the Injil written?
Yes, we believe it was written down.
Who wrote it?
We don't know.
How do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write it?
All right, okay, I'll explain to you why. Because the Injil, you believe that the revelation that came to Jesus was written down by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
How do you know that they didn't write it? That's the question.
Can I please?
Was Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Oh, so you're saying now that what they've copied is from the Injil?
I'm asking, how do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write it?
Because
You're stuck.
Hamza,
was the Injil written?
Yes.
By who?
By Jesus and his companions.
All right, can you show me the Quran?
He didn't say just Jesus. He said Jesus and his companions, ladies and gentlemen.
And his companions, David.
And by the way, that's important. Earlier we mentioned that these guys, they give responses, but their responses all contradict each other. There's a clip by Ahmed Deedat, where he's saying that the Torah and the Injil only refer to the oral revelations given to Moses and to Jesus, and not to actual written scriptures. And here you've got John Fontaine. No, it was written down by Jesus and his companions. So the Injil was written down. It was written down by Jesus and his companions. So there was something written down which Christians are supposed to judge by? Because I don't know. Let's see.
It says Jesus wrote the Injil, or give me one hadith that says Jesus wrote the Injil.
Not on me, no. I can't give you that. No.
So where are you getting this from that Jesus wrote the Injil?
He just said it.
We have evidence that it was written.
I know. By who?
From Allah. It says it's written.
No, that's not what I mean. What is your evidence of who wrote it?
Well, it's an inference, like your inference about the Bible being in Medina.
So you don't know.
The point is that Jesus was given the Injil, okay, and either Jesus or his companions would have recorded the words of Allah that Allah gave Jesus.
Gotcha.
This does not mean that this is written in
got you,
the
bro.
sense that it's the words of Jesus or the words of the companions of
understand.
Jesus, as the New Testament Gospels claim to be.
I understand. Okay. So your understanding is that Jesus or his companions, the companions of Jesus, would have written down what he was preaching, what God has revealed to him.
Yeah, that's my inference. Yeah.
All right, nice. Okay. According to the Christians, would the companions of Jesus, at least some of them at least, have written down the revelation that he was bringing of the gospel?
Yeah.
So it sounds like to me that you have the same understanding of the gospel that I do, that the companions of Jesus would have written down the revelation that he was preaching about. Thank you so much.